Hi there, I'm Nu-Trix, and today we're looking into three different soft effects. I would say it's effects pedals. These are virtual guitar pedals, if you want, from Safari pedals. I like this concept. If you look at how guitar players choose their pedals, they have so many different ones of them. If you look at how guitar players cherish their guitar pedals, there's a bunch of them, and they all have this little sound and tweak and way to make it into their own sound. So what's interesting about this approach is that you should look at these effects as not mixing effects, but part of the creative process, or part of the performance of that you're going to capture, and you're going to be playing with these plugins. The three of them we're going to talk is the Dragon EQ, the Rabbit Tape, and the Camel Strip. And they're really, really cool. They're different. Let's start with Dragon EQ. Dragon EQ is interesting because first thing when you think about it, you go, okay, well, it's going to be an EQ. Yes, but it's so much more than just a simple EQ. Now, if you look at how this works, of course, you've got the low, mid, and high. You can boost. You go, well, I don't hear too much. You get the frequency we're going to be. So, okay, this is the frequency I'm going to be EQing. You get the gain for each section, so you can gain the high frequencies. But what's different is that you have a drive for each of these frequencies sections. So I can drive just the mid. You can have oversampling, better quality. You can drive the low end. So it's more than in EQ, it's basically three overdrives. If you put it into the maximum, you get overdrive, and then but you control the tonality of it by deciding where it's going to be happening. Well, this is pretty cool. So it's much more than just an EQ. So you have some of them that are really crunchy, like trashy. And then there's something else that might not be obvious. Let's say I want to have some drive on my bass here. Look at the bottom here. We've got mid or side. If you go mid, it's going to be in the middle. Very mono. So what you're doing, you're adding this in the middle. But now if I bring it to the sides, this is happening on the sideline instead of in the middle. So there's ways to make this into a very interesting movement. So I'm going to try this. So most of them are subtle. I'm going to the extreme, but it's a trashy one. Say drive for the mid and the high. Let's say you want to try There's one called Distort the Roads. See? Yeah, that kind of saturation that you get on road piano when it's too loud or too close to. So again, really interesting. It could be very subtle depending on where you want to use it. But look at this as 3 different bands of overdrive. That's kind of how I look at it. Really cool. So that's the one. Next one, we want to talk about rabbit tape. It's actually pretty cool. It's a simulation of a tape effect. So you have bypass, you get auto gain, you get your meters coming in, you get the input, and by being in auto gain, every time you bring up the in, the output drops down. If you turn this off, you can actually use it now for distortion or saturation of tape. You have the grit, so how clean you're gonna get or how used the tape is, and you get that noise of the tape and that saturation and that roughness, the grit of the tape. You get the wow, which is how fluctuation of speed, so you get that wavery pitch type of sound. Too much is weird, but a slow one gives you a kind of chorus type of feeling, which is interesting. And you get the flutter, which is, you hear more of a changing of volume and kind of a, and you have the feel of a reel-to-reel tape, reel-to-reel recorder, or a cassette tape, so lower end and higher quality. So you could use it for texture like the wow, the wow. And then if you use it for the wow, you get more of a kind of chorus type of sound if you want. But if you don't use this and you just play with the in and get rid of the grit, what you get is more of a tape sound and just saturation, and you're recording to tape. You've got these examples here that if you want to have just like warm sound, and you have a choice of width, so you want it to be wide or you want it to be mono. And by going blend, you're basically having a parallel signal, or going full in and get only the result. So some of it is really just a texture. Other are just bringing out some of the noise of the device. You get some, distortion here, saturating if you want. And others are just there to give you the right presence. Now, this on drums is very cool. Now this one you go. I have the right one. I hear more of the floor coming in. There's more compression by doing this. I hear more of the slamming by recording really loud on the tape. You get that compression coming in. So you have the attack and then everything else is squashed. You get this coming in. That's really cool. And a cassette, well, it doesn't smash the same way because it's a tape. It's not a reel-to-reel. So by playing with this, and then again, you can get rid of auto gain and use it as an amp to amplify this. This is interesting. I really like that sound. Again, it doesn't have to be in your face. It can be very, very subtle. If you don't have it, see? Just clean and right now you just have room at the back, and well, there was no room. It's not a reverb, it was room, but now with the tape it's kind of compressing it, and with the width You have it wider. But this is really cool. It gives presence to your recordings. Camel strip. Listen to this. Now this one has attitude, but it can be very in your face, aggressive. It can be soft. It's a whole channel strip into one box. You've got your input drive. Okay. You got EQ with high, mid, and low, and 3 different reactions to the EQ. You see, if you change this, it's kind of using different type of EQs every time, so they don't react the same way. You have a gate. You can turn off, turn on. How much of the gate? Do you want a hard gate or a soft gate? So it takes more time to react, so that basically controls the speed of it. Compression, you got a effects, turn on the effects, and then you say how much you want, spring or plate. Okay, 2 type of sounds or effects you can have. Compression, turn it on. It's a fairly just one knob compression. You have 3 types of, so I think it's just 3. If you look at the number, you go, well, these are 3 numbers that brings back to hardware devices. So 3 different types of reaction on the design there was. So basically, listen to this. Okay, if I take out the gate, see a little difference, but it's even more obvious when you turn on the gate. See? So you can use it to kind of gate, using the gate and the compressor to kind of gate. See, now the attack in this one is more in your face. So you can play with this until you get it. So what I like is that they mimic and they're got these choices from different hardware, but it's very simple. You just pick the one you want, turn the knob, and you have 3 very distinctive type of compressor here. And you get the output. Basically, you want it to be loud or not. And you always have oversampling if you want. You get the width, how wide you want it, or how mono you want it. So this is pretty cool. I like this. I like this a lot. And just to listen to, you know, you can just as a bus. So just really use it as a compressor gate, very subtle, a little bit more kick. You can use it as a on voice. Let's try go back to drums in here. Drum bus with the spring, which is kind of wild spring coming in. You have overheads. In my case, it will enhance the overhead, but I have everything playing here. Parallel processing. Original signal. So it gives again presence and width. It's interesting. I really like this one because if you want it to be, it's quickly in your face. You can easily go. This one too nasal, don't like it. This one nicer, bring it a bit up to the high. Okay, this is what I want. I wanted the input. So I want it to be saturating, yeah. But I want to gate some stuff. Get more of that chop in the sound. Pretty cool. That's the one I want to keep. And then you can easily, really quickly, without going too much into detail, having what you should have in a channel strip. And it has attitude. It has that quickness that is really fun. And I like the sound. I like all of them. They have that, well, like yeah, in guitar, that if you push them a little bit too much, they always have drive. So you can always bring them to saturate, to be, without being just, this doesn't sound distorted. It sounds more in your face. And that's really cool for that. So channel strip, Camel strip, channel strip, same logic. Let's try this on the bass. Try that. Camel strip on the bass. Let's say there's one here for put it on bass. On this one you got input drive. I'm going to turn this off for now. Got input drive, some EQ, some compression. Turn it off. That's it. A little bit more beefy, a bit wider, a bit compression. And you can drive it more if you want. So you have that. Distorts at the input, or it drives the input. So it's all about a question of taste, personal taste, but I like this. It's just quick. That's what's fun about all of these effects pedal. It keeps the same logic of a pedal where it's just like a couple of knobs and you get a result. It's not a complex plugin. It's, you know, very quick to use. The Camel strip, the rabbit tape, and the Dragon EQ, they have something with animals, that's for sure. They always bring animal into the name of their pedal. It's cool. It's quick. It sounds fun. It sounds good. And you can always have subtle if you want, but you can have in your face, and that's what I like about it. I like that raw quickness to it. That's it. Stay safe, make more music, and see you soon. Cheers.